Hey guys, this is Patty B within the hauler. I got another firearm I'd like to share with y'all. This is the Canik SFX Rival-S, chambered in 9mm. The Rival-S is a steel frame striker fired pistol that feeds from 18 round magazines. Yeah, the Rival-S is basically just a steel frame version of the polymer framed Rival, which is a pretty darn popular pistol. But, when you have the steel frame on here, it brings the weight of your pistol up considerably. And that just helps, soak up some of that recoil. This thing comes with a 5-inch barrel and it weighs 43.5 ounces on my scale with an empty magazine. Features on this, we'll start down here, the steel grip that has some replaceable grip panels with some pretty good texture. Feels pretty darn nice. You also have some checkering up here in the front. Pistol just feels really good in your hand. It does come with a mag well, which is really nice to help with those reloads. Now my buddy Archer, whose pistol this is, he has put some grip tape up here. That doesn't really come there. I don't think there's any traction under there, but he put this tape here to give him a little traction. Controls on this, you've got ambi slide stop slide release. The magazine release is reversible. Trigger on this, like most Caniks, and especially the Rival series, is just so good. So good. I love that wide trigger shoe. They're just a joy to shoot. You do have some texture out here in front of the trigger guard, and you've got a rail out here. The slide has some really cool looking cuts, some lightning cuts, and just some neat texture to make this thing easy to rack from any angle. The sights on this, of course, as you can see, the rear sight's removed. You have to do that to put an optic on here. But the front sight, nice little fiber. That is the downside of these, is you're going to lose your rear sight to put an optic on it. But, if you're using this for competition, which is, what I believe this is made for, you don't really need a rear sight. A disassembly on this, pretty easy like any other Canik. You're going to pull the trigger, pull it to the rear, pull down your takedown tabs, and she comes right apart. Give you a look at the inside here. Pretty darn simple, pretty easy. So yeah, my buddy Archer, he brought this out for us to shoot and review today. And he's got a ton of Caniks, and they all shoot pretty good, and they definitely have all good triggers. But we'll see how this compares to the standard Rival. He brought that out as well, and we're going to shoot that. I anticipate this thing shooting pretty similar to that, with probably just less recoil due to the weight. So let's take this thing outside. We're going to put a couple hundred rounds through it or so. We'll bring it back in, tell you what I think about this thing. All right, I think he's got his red dot dialed in, so he's going to take his first shots with the Rival-S. Well, what do you think?
Man, it's slick as hell. A lot nicer than the standard Rival. You can definitely tell the difference in the weight on it and the recoil.
All right, I'm gonna take my first shots with the Rival-S, see what we think about it. So yeah, compared to like the regular Rival, you're definitely gonna feel the weight, and it just soaks up some of that recoil. And like the other Rival, it's got that outstanding trigger, which is just a pleasure to shoot. This thing's gonna be a lot of fun. All right, back about 15 yards. Yeah, so this thing's shooting pretty good. You know, that extra weight just helps out quite a bit. Of course, I'll say it 100 times in this review, but that Canik trigger is just so nice. Yeah, this thing's a lot of fun. All right, Archer's going to try the 25-yard plate. All right, let's try that 40-yard plate. All right, back inside from shooting the Rival-S, and you know, it's kind of what I expected. Just a whole lot of fun to shoot. The extra weight on this, you can definitely tell that just soaks up a little bit of that recoil, makes it a little flatter shooting. This thing's a blast to shoot, and it makes it easy. You know, that trigger's so nice. The grip just feels good in your hand. Just a really easy to pistol to shoot well. The only downside is weight. You know, it's pretty heavy. So it's kind of limit what you're going to do with this. Obviously, you're not going to carry something this heavy, but you know, you could have this as a nightstand gun since you got the rail. And but mostly, I think this thing is made for competition and backyard blasting, which is something that this thing excels at. Just a whole lot of fun. And you know, we enjoyed shooting it today. We only put like, I think 250 rounds through it, 0 malfunctions, which is always good to see. And yeah, it was a blast. So yeah, if you're wanting a all steel heavy gun for competition or just backyard blasting, this thing would definitely be a good option because it's just pretty cool and a lot of fun to shoot and easy to shoot well. So, well, there you go, guys. Canik SFX Rival-S. Y'all have a nice day.